Walking into a restaurant the other day, I saw a sign on the wall that read, "There is no Wi-Fi. Talk to each other." It struck me how rare that idea has become in today's hyper-connected world. We live in an age where both young people and adults are increasingly glued to their devices. What was once a tool for connection has now become a barrier. Take a walk down any busy street and you'll see the same scene repeating itself. People walking down with their heads down, eyes glued on the phones. Some are watching videos, others endlessly scrolling through social media, even while crossing the road or driving. I've seen it. The danger this poses is obvious, yet the addiction seems stronger than common sense. This digital obsession is affecting our relationships in a subtle but profound way. Conversations around the dinner table have been replaced by silence, interrupted only by the tapping of fingers on screens. Families sit together in the same room, nobody's talking, but emotionally they're miles apart. Children who once spent hours playing outside or engaging with friends are now glued to their tablets and phones. Adults, on the other hand, constantly checking email, messages, what's up, and news updates. The results? A generation losing the art of face-to-face communication. It's ironic that devices meant to connect us are now disconnecting us from the people right in front of us. Moments that used to invite conversation, waiting in line, commuting, or enjoying a simple meal are now filled with silence and screen time. Technology isn't the enemy, but our overdependence on it is. We need to be more intentional about putting our phones down and being present with each other. A real conversation, a shared laugh, or simply looking someone in the eye can go a long way in restoring human connection. Maybe it's time we all take that as a sign to have a heart-to-heart and start talking again.
This is a very important conversation, I think, because if you go on dates these days, it is very disrespectful, actually.
Yeah.
You want to get to know someone, you want to have a conversation, and, you know, you say the first greetings, and then people are on their phones, and nobody is getting to know anybody, and everything is just so mechanical. And I'm going to say this, you'll be surprised. And this is what technology has done. So I was talking to a friend of mine, I haven't seen her in 10 years, we went to the same school. And while we were chatting, I realized she was using AI to talk to me. To reply to my messages.
Say that. How?
I kid you not. I have those messages on the phone, but it's going to be embarrassing. So when I say, "Hi, how have you?" I was like, "Hey, how have you been? Long time." Well. Then she probably takes my message and dumps it on AI and then says, "What should I respond?" And I kid you not.
No,
because I did. So when I noticed how mechanical, because there is no human connection. Yeah. So I had to take my response back to AI, and when I dropped it, it gave me the response she was giving to me. So at some point, I just stopped. I'm like, no. So I think that we have become so technology dependent that we cannot even connect. And this is someone I used to know, you know, and that we don't even have that time to talk to people, and we are losing each other. Because in the heart of human relations, it is understanding. It is the humaneness that makes us, that is in us, that makes us humans.
I think that that sign that says, you know, we should take the sign to heart and start talking again. I think we should also include start learning again and start working again. Nigerian youths are unemployable because we have now gotten to the point where you show up for your first day of work and you're like this.
No, it's a lie.
And you are quickly, they are quickly putting their phone away. You are in a meeting and they're, hello?
No.
It has become, it is now a chronic condition. And by the way, can I submit to us that we should ban devices from schools? Why does my 5-year-old need a laptop? Why?
To keep her busy.
Now, I'm having to go pry a laptop from the room of a 5-year-old because the school mandated laptops. And so now the child, I was at work and I just got, Dekomi is playing chess. I said, don't they have exams? In fact, I still have the screenshots that I sent to the teacher that I got a notification now that Dekome is playing chess on the school laptop. That isn't he supposed to be in exams? Teacher said, she doesn't know, she'll go and check. Lo and behold, they went and they said one of the quizzes was online. So the child left the quiz.
Yeah.
A 5-year-old now left the quiz and went to go and play chess. Thank God it was even chess, it was not watching porn. So we are now at a critical moment. And Nigerians, we always overcopy. What the technology that other people have used to leapfrog into growing their economy and scaling their economy is the one we are using to be texting back and forth with you. So we don't know the appropriate use of technology. So for me, I think that we are now at a critical point. In fact, when I saw this topic, I was dancing with joy because I think it's high time we address this complete disdain for connection. We don't want to talk anymore. Even husband and wife now, they don't want to talk anymore. Everybody is like, text me. Maybe you text me, don't worry. People are in a hurry. Everybody is in a hurry. The way we adopt technology, I've made it a point in my own organization. When we have a meeting, I have a basket, submit your phone. And I always say, okay, what is the solution? And I think our solution really needs to be that we start creating a way for us to disconnect from technology and actually have technology-free zones or technology-free moments.
One of the things I tell my kids about is how we lived during our time. It usually brings a lot of arguments at the dinner table when my daughter tries to remind me that my generation is different from theirs. But I tell her about what we do, that we lived in the outdoors. I come back from school, I'm outside there playing.
Before you enter house, your shirt go down dirty.
I'm
Football,
climbing mango tree, at the back of the house. We lived in the outdoors. We engaged, we socialized, there. And I also would tell our story. Myself and my wife would tell them stories about how we used to write letters to each other.
Yes, I remember.
We wait 1 week, 2 weeks to get the letters. And it wasn't just about the letter, it was the waiting, really.
Was it sealed with a kiss?
It was the waiting that made sense, And it's not to discount the fact that the reality of their time or this time is that things are different. The phones are not just talking devices now, they are business devices. You cannot do without them. Your emails are there, there are communication devices that have become very impactful. You want to pay for something, you have to do that. Yeah. So that it's looking at how do we bridge the gap, how do we balance it, and I think that it's a balancing conversation here. And your suggestions, for instance, of saying, as a couple, if you come to the dinner table, which we have, been doing now in my family, is that when it's come to dinner, everybody put your phones aside, okay?
It's dinner time.
Let's have that me time. We also we try to do movie time as a family. So everybody is, we're there together as a family, and then we put your phones outside and we watch a movie. And when we are done watching the movie, we discuss about the movie and things like that. I think so. It's about being intentional in recognizing the reality of technology of our time, that if you're not compliant, you will be irrelevant. But also trying to balance it.
Okay, thank you for this, because it's a needful one for the family and the society. I see the dearth and the death of critical thinking as against machine thinking. I was just going to say, people now reply your conversations with ChatGPT. They give prompts to AI. Having said that, Gen Zs talk about their mental health a lot. When that mental health is triggered by flight from self. Because you find that a lot of them do not have depth. Why? Because they run away from silence. And silence is a two-edged sword. Silence can sting, it can sink, but it can also give clarity. It can give depth, and it can enable self, the coming to your own. But if we keep running away from silence, because what we do is that we're constantly performing online. That is why we're gone to our devices. It is destructive, it is disruptive, it is performative, and it is addictive. So it is the addiction that we see, that even when we're walking, having this walk that we're talking about, you're on the phone and you're walking. Where is the benefit from that walk? Because you are taking flights from yourself. You are refusing to have a conversation with yourself, first of all, before we now start talking about having conversations with other people.
Yep.
So we, as mothers and fathers, we have to find a way to remove devices from our children, and we have to overcome, self, to also drag the devices from ourselves and live meaningful life, do critical thinking, and contribute to not just our own development, but the development of our immediate surroundings, our immediate environment. That's what we need to do.
Can we talk for a minute? Warning signs are meant to be heeded. We either stop and take responsibility, or we scroll past them. Here at the table, we take ownership. Do you? If you do, then join us again, same time next week. Till then, it's goodbye from all of us. Sayonara.
Bye.
Mwah.